like, Trae's gotten comfortable in a number of ways, but, one of the places he looks really comfortable of late is when you and Dwayne or somebody else are setting the double screens for him up top. Without giving away, like, the state secrets, is it something where it's a set play and you always know what you're going to do, or is there an ad-lib depending on what you see there? Or?
I feel like right now, at least what you're seeing is Coach, not to sound cliche or it'd be obvious, but Coach is coaching Trae to his strengths. Giving Trae more options, with time and movement. Trae seems to like, having options on the fly better than he does being stationary, only have one or two. I think that's sort of the main reason, I have myself and Dwayne who could do both, roll and pop, which gives Trae a lot of options. So really run out with the double screen and do whatever, and then if those weak side guys come in, he's finding everybody, or he's getting his, it's really his own world.
Is one of the objectives when you're doing stuff like that to kind of, almost like in football, like a crossing pattern, not just a pick, but like even more than that, like confuse the defense and sort of screen the screeners and things like that?
Yeah, at times, the teams are definitely loading up and obviously noticing that we're really effective in this pick and roll. So and the big thing for Trae and I is timing. If our timing is right, I don't really think anybody can really stop what we do. But, if the timing isn't off, that's where other stuff has to come in. Did I hit the screen right? Did I roll correctly? Passing angles and all that stuff. All that stuff comes into play, and Trae's a great table setter, so it becomes easy to hit.
What was a game like last night, overtime, late game scenarios? How's that with the maturation of the young team, just being able to get a win and be in those scenarios?
Those wins really, mature us and give us, experience and confidence. I think looking down onto the bench and seeing Vince and Bays and Dwayne, all those guys on the bench, and being able to talk to them and still being able to finish out the game the way we did, and being able to actually apply that late game information, it's going to help us mature and get better, for sure.
Yeah, and also just talk about the relationship with the young guys. You talked about with Trae, Dwayne's a veteran, but he's not that old per se. But also Bembry, he had a big breakout double-double.
Yeah.
Talk about Bembry. Let's get to him and how he's been helping.
Trae, that's what Trae does. Trae comes out and gives us energy. His finishes at the rim, expanded his game. He's able to shoot that three ball now, and what he gives us on the defensive end is unmatched on our team. He comes in and gives us his all every night. So he came up big for us in that fourth quarter and that overtime.
This is my first time able to speak with you since the All-Star break. What were some highlights from that weekend? What did you learn just on and off the court from that experience?
The biggest thing I learned off the court was how big of an event the All-Star weekend actually was for that weekend, especially the magnitude, the amount of celebrities and stars and eyes that are on that weekend. And then the highlight for me was that Friday. Being out there with Trae, seeing Trae do his thing, and us being able to play together on a big stage like that and have some highlight plays, have some fun. That was all I could ask for.
And then lastly for me, Chris Paul is very complimentary of you after the Houston game.
Yeah.
Talk about your relationship with him and I guess the Wake Forest group and how you guys help each other through the league.
Yeah, coming out of college, he was very open, very forthcoming to just help me out, and he gave me the open door. So if you needed anything, he was always there. So our relationship just been really developing from there. Good, he's good friends with my family, his family, and his sons, little Chris, and all that stuff, man. So we've gone way back, and that's my guy. So can't say enough about him too.
Can I tag on a couple more?
Yeah.
With your post game, it's unorthodox maybe? Like you're not the biggest guy, so a lot of times you're like making space and then you're kind of shooting from different angles. Sometimes it's way up, sometimes it's kind of one-handed down low. Where did that grow from? Like
that's the wingspan. I feel like being able to speak without saying as much as it needs to. A lot of other guys in the league have a long wingspan, allows them to do a lot of easier stuff around the rim. And for me, being the super athlete that I am and not having as much of a wingspan, I needed to find a way to do great shots around and in front of the rim, which is my bread and butter. So I figured out that I needed to switch it up a little bit, and the regular stuff that I used to do wasn't going to work anymore.
So when did you make that kind of change? Is that in college or when you got here? Or?
Yeah, in college, and obviously I think since I've been in the NBA, I couldn't really put a mark on it, but I feel like just the experience of being in games and learning how to score against bigger guys, giving me that extra cushion to play how I am right now.
Thank you.